We as human beings tend to think a lot. We study books. We constantly strive to improve our thoughts or aspire to it. As a scholar, I'm talking about myself and people who are doing their PhDs and pursuing postdoctorate or maybe uh, connected with academia, or people who constantly go on improving thoughts, read critical theories, discuss, analyze, and very analytical minds. I am addressing to those people that sometimes you all have felt that theories can sound very boring and life is complex and intellect works like a knife. It goes on dissecting life even more and more and more. And in that process, our sense making faculty kind of becomes faded. We cannot, grasp what reality exactly is. When we try to solve a partial problem in our life, the earlier dimensions, which from the very beginning looked that this is not a problem, new problems emerge. Yes, these are creative problems, creative challenges that improve our overall life, but it creates a vacuum of nihilism, senselessness, a nausea, as Sartre calls it. So, in that context, as T.S. Eliot has rightly said, that in this wasteland, stories, mythologies, Puranas, those ancient people who thought that time is cyclical rather than linear, those cyclical stories, they can be uh, meaningless for people who are uh, trying to establish historical fact within Puranic stories. But they are very symbolic truths, very deeper truths. And facts can be partial. Facts are not truths. Truths can transcend facts. And that is why the book Mahagathas, 100 Tales from the Puranas, written by Satyarth Nayak, I love so much about this book, and a great read for everyone who loves to read and explore, because these stories are beautiful. And not only beautiful, it gives a very beautiful sense of purpose in life. A dimension opens up and a direction we can find. Through that, we can think anew, we can begin afresh. I'm reading the first story. Number one, Brahma begins creation. In the beginning, there was nothing, only the Parabrahma. Brahma is the creator of the whole universe according to the Hindu mythology. It was the supreme principle that had no beginning and no end. The absolute reality that was utterly indescribable, the divine essence with infinite potential, the cause and the effect blended into one, timeless, boundless, self created, and self contained. It had no form, nor was it formless. It had no traits, nor was it without any. Pure consciousness beyond the reach of thoughts and senses, a catalyst that was unchanging, yet it would bring forth every change. It was only when the Parabrahma willed it that creation of the material universe began. A universe that would now be manifest, observable, discoverable, distinguishable. This will of the Parabrahma produced a vibration which birthed the first sound, and it was Om, the sound that contained all the sounds. And the first to form was the Mahatattva, or the primordial element from which originated the three gunas, or the three attributes. Sattva guna denoting preservation, Rajas guna denoting action, and Tamas guna denoting destruction. The interplay of these three gunas brought forth the Pancha Tattva or the five physical elements: air, water, earth, fire, ether. Together they made Prakriti or nature manifest. The gunas also gave rise to the five senses: hearing, touch, smell, taste. These would be determined by five sense organs which would be governed by the mind. With matter had come forth perception. Water now flowed and covered everything. Water, water everywhere, but nothing that would sink. The Parabrahma manifested itself as a divine entity who lay on these waters like a lily pad over a pond. Since water is Nara and abode is Ayana, this entity acquired his name Narayana. The Parabrahma now implanted its own seed in the water. Thus fertilized, the water nurtured the seed and in due course generated an egg, a golden egg that shone like an orb of light. Since this egg and or anda had been spawned by the Parabrahma, it came to be known as Brahmanda, the cosmos or Brahmanda. Narayan now entered the egg as Vishnu, the all pervading one, the preserver, presiding over Sattva Guna. As this golden egg or Hiranya evolved him like a womb or Garbha, it acquired the name Hiranyagarbha. A lotus with 14 petals sprouted through Vishnu's navel, and out of this flower emerged Brahma, another divine manifestation of the Parabrahma, the creator presiding over Rajas Guna. The progenitor bore a Kamandala or water bowl and a Mala or rosary. Born thus of a lotus from the navel, he got other names like Padmayoni and Nabhija. After spending a year inside the Hiranyagarbha, like a pearl gestating in an oyster, Brahma split the egg into two. The upper half became heaven and the lower half earth. Between the two stretched the sky. Brahma had begun the cycle and he knew how it would eventually end. Creation or sarga would lead to preservation or sthiti and finally give way to dissolution or pralaya. But as soon as one cycle would die, a new one would be born. At the end of every cycle, when all would be reduced to the primeval ocean of chaos, he would initiate this process all over again. An eternal sequence of cycles, a universe of interlocked cycles or circles. Like a firework exploding in a dark sky, Brahmanda had come into being. Brahma sat gazing at what he had just created. Then he entered a state of meditation, and from his depths originated the four Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharva Veda. Little did the Creator know that four troubles were also about to rear their heads. Four troubles that would now endanger this very course of creation. Would well begun be half done? We have finished or have come to the end of the story. Brahma begins creation. The next part, Vishnu kills Madhu and Kaitava, will unfold in the next episode. Till then, thank you.